So today we will be starting our next topic, that is invoice verification part 1. Okay. The topics that we are going to cover in invoice verification part 1, they are enter an invoice reference referencing a purchase order, post a simple invoice, good receipt based invoice verification, purchase order based invoice verification, hold or park an invoice, specify which updates takes place during document parking, process a parked document further, prepayment process, and customizing for prepayment process. These are the topics we will be covering in the invoice verification part 1. Okay, so invoice verification. Invoice verification, it is situated at the end of the logistics supply chain that includes purchasing, inventory management, and invoice verification. So in our purchasing cycle, invoice verification is the last step which we discussed in our previous classes. Okay, so during invoice verification, incoming invoices are verified in terms of their content, prices, and arithmetic. So basically, during the invoice verification, they check all the content in the invoice. Okay, according whether the data in the invoice is properly provided or not, they will check in the invoice verification. Okay, when the invoice is posted, the invoice data is saved in the system. Okay, this already we covered in our normal purchasing cycle. The system updates the data saved in the invoice documents in materials management and financial accounting. In both the places, it will update the data. Okay, so whatever the topic we are discussing, invoice verification is closely integrated with the components financial accounting and control. Both both will be it will be integrated with the both the modules. Okay, so basically in our purchasing cycle, if you see in our purchasing cycle, invoice verification is a last step. Okay, so we create purchase order. Okay, we provide this purchase order to the vendor. Against this purchase order, he will supply the material, then we will do the goods receipt. After that, we will do the invoice verification. So from here onwards, today we will be concentrating more on this area. Okay, already we discussed how to do the invoice verification, but in these two topics, in these two sessions, we will be discussing in depth about this invoice verification. The transaction code which we discussed already, it is Miro. Okay, so basically what information you can see it in the invoice. Okay, in the invoice you can see invoicing party, that vendor name and address, vendor name is address, and our plant address or plant address. Purchase a typical invoice will look like this, and the information in the invoice will be like this. It will contain the purchase order data, what are the items supplied by the vendor, supplier, what is the quantity, their currency, amount per item. Okay, and tax and total tax amount and total invoice amount. Okay, and terms of payment. All this information will be available in the invoice. Okay, invoice reference number, invoice date, all those things you can see it in the invoice. Now this information we will be posting it in the, what do you call, in the system, in the SAP system. Okay, so whenever you do an invoice, you can refer to the lot of document types, not only purchase order. You can refer to lot of documents like delivery note, bill of lading, service entry sheet, vendor, all those things you can refer. So before this, we will do a first simple invoice verification. Okay, in our normal purchasing cycle, I'll log on to the system. Okay, so Okay, I'll take a material. I'll take this material. Okay, we will create a PO, brand new PO, purchase order. Okay, I'll enter the vendor number. Enter the material code, 100 quantity, and I will enter into this plant. Okay, I'll enter the price. Okay, done. Price done. Okay, everything is okay. Now I'm saving this PO, purchase order. I'm just executing a simple purchasing cycle. Okay, so this is my PO, purchase order. I'll do the good receipt now. Me go. We go. Good receipt, purchase order. Purchase order. Enter the purchase order number. Okay, you will get everything. Storage location I will enter. Check. Okay, I entered the date of production. Okay, check. Okay, still system in the date 01. Okay, check. Done. Document is okay. Now I'm posting it. So we posted the stock. We posted the stock. Now let's take the material. Let's take the material document. That's okay. Now, if you go to the PO, if you take the PO, normally we will be doing invoice verification through transaction mirror. This already we discussed. Mirror. This is the transaction. Okay. So here, select invoice. Select invoice. Enter the document date. Enter today's date. Okay. So normally what we will be doing, we will enter the purchase order number here. Enter the purchase order number. Enter. I am recording the session. Okay, so all the data has come from the purchase order and I am making it balance 0. Let's say this is the amount we are paying to the amount. Okay, everything is okay, balance is 0. Now let's post the invoice. So I'm posting it. Okay, that's okay. I'm posting the invoice. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. So we have done the invoice verification. This is the process we already previously discussed. Okay, this is how we have run. Now I have executed a simple purchasing cycle. I created a purchase order I did the goods receipt, and then I made the invoice verification. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? So this is the basic purchasing cycle we have executed. Okay, so I create a purchase order, I edit the good receipt, and we will do the invoice verification. So whatever the invoice verification we do, this information we can see it in the purchase order. So if you go to the purchase order, ME23N, ME23N, if you go to the purchase order, if you go to the purchase order, if you go to purchase order history, you can see this information. This is a GR information, material document number, and this is the invoice verification document number. So this information we can see it in the what you call in the purchase order. Okay, so this already we discussed invoice verification. Now the information you invoice, a typical invoice provided by the vendor looks like this. So using this information, we will be doing the invoice verification. Now, while doing the invoice verification, normally we are referring to a purchase order. We are referring to a purchase order. But instead of referring to a purchase order, you can refer to a delivery note, bill of lading, okay, even service entry sheet, and even you can refer to a vendor. Okay, I'll show you this. This here, you can refer to here. In the invoice verification screen, if you go to the Miro, MIRO, if you go to Miro, here you see, you can refer to other ones also. Not only purchase order, delivery note, bill of lading, and you can refer to other document types. Okay, I'll show you how you can refer to a delivery note. I'll create another PO. ME21 here. I'm creating a fresh PO again. I'll take a different vendor. I'll take a different vendor. Okay, I'll take a different material now. I'll take this material, or I'll take this material, cartridge. Okay, I'll take this material. Okay, let's say quantity is 10, plant is 1000. Okay, price, it is asking for the price. This is one time vendor. Huh? Okay, let me take a different vendor. Wait, 21 yen. Okay, 645, 648. Let me take. Okay, 649. Okay, okay. So this is a new purchase order I'm creating. Okay, so check once. Okay, now save it. Okay, so this is my purchase order number. Okay, now when I do the good receipt, when I do the good receipt, let me make a note of it. Okay, when I do the good receipt, go back, me go, I'm doing the good receipt, enter. Okay, so now here I'll do the good receipt for 5 quantity. 5 quantity. This is a storage location I'm entering. Okay, now here I have the option of giving the delivery note and bill of lading. So I'll give the delivery note as 7123 and bill of lading also as Kumar 123. Okay, so I'm doing GR for partial quantity. Now I'm check. Material block due to a physical inventory. Okay, just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Double 100. So done. Now let me do the GR again. Good receipt again. Okay. My GO. Okay. Enter the Pivo number. I'm doing the GR again. Now I'm doing for the partial quantity 5. 5. I'm entering the storage. Done. Check once. Okay, that's okay. We are doing partial quantity, so you are getting this error message. Okay, that's okay. Now here, while doing the goods receipt, I'm giving the delivery note number and bill of lading. So I'll give it as 7123 and bill of lading as Kumar 123. This I am giving. Okay. Now I'll save the good receipt. So my good receipt has been done. Okay. So now when you do the GR, when you do the Miro, when you do the Miro invoice verification, when you do the invoice verification, enter the date, enter. Now here, instead of giving the purchase order number, you can refer to the delivery note or bill of lading. Suppose if you select the option delivery note, if you enter the delivery note, my delivery note is 7123. Okay, if you enter that, system will fetch the data from the delivery note. See, all the data has come. So you have the option of referring to any one of these object document types. Either you can refer to your purchase order, which we were doing all the time, or you can refer to your delivery note, bill of lading, service entry sheet, or vendor. So you can refer to any one of these. Okay. Now once all the data has come, you will do the normal procedure. You will follow. You will do the invoice verification. So that is what you need to understand. Okay, not only a purchase order, there are other document types for reference for invoice verification. Okay, so now we will be discussing on the structure of the Miro transaction. So how the Miro transaction looks like. Okay, so if you go to the Miro transaction, I'll start it again freshly. Miro transaction. Okay, so here in the Miro transaction, I will enter. Okay, I'll enter a delivery note as of now. Let me enter this. Here in the Miro transaction, okay, first you can see the vendor data. You can see the vendor data. If you see here, this is a vendor name, vendor address. Okay, all this data you can see. This in this section you can see the vendor data. Okay, even from here you can navigate to the vendor master. Suppose if you click on this button, display vendor, it will take you to the vendor master, which we discussed in our initial classes XK03. If you go here, we have discussed vendor master, our master data classes. So to that vendor master you can navigate. Okay, so if your vendor is having email id, that email id also you can see. All that data you can see about the vendor master here. Okay, now other invoice document. So from the same screen, I am on this screen now. From here I want to go to another invoice document. You can click on this button. Okay, first, do you want to post this document? No. Okay, now here you can enter another invoice document and system will take you to that invoice document. But you can navigate through this option. Okay, now the next one is allocation. Okay, reference document type, which we just discussed. Either you can refer to a PO, delivery note, bill of lading, whatever it is. This we just now discussed. Okay. Now there is a layout option. There is a layout option which we will be discussing in a minute. You can change the layout of display of these things, these columns. If you see here, item number, PO text, quantity, ordered quantity, amount. This layout columns you can add, you can change as per your requirement by using the layout also. By using the layout, which we will be discussing in a minute. Okay, so this is how your a mirror transaction looks like, and even you can see the PO structure here. Let's say I'll take the PO. What was the PO? Just 1 minute. What was the PO? May 23. This is our PO, right? So suppose if I take the PO, okay, from here, this screen, you can see the PO structure. I'll start it again. I'll start the transaction again, mirror. Okay. Now I'll select the option purchase order again. Enter the invoice date. Enter. I'll enter the purchase order number. Enter. So you have this option. Now here from the screen you can see the PO structure. See on the top there is a button, show PO structure. Just click on that button. See now it will show the PO and what is the quantity, what is the total PO quantity, and what is the GR quantity we have done. All that information you can see from the Miro screen itself. No need to go to the PO. Okay, so that also can be done. Now if you don't want to see the data, just click on the button hide PO structure. So it will get closed. So that's what. Show work list we will discuss when we go to the document parking topic. That time I will show you. Okay, so this is how this is the data you can see. This is how you navigate in the Miro transaction. Miro transaction. Okay, so now we will discuss on the item list. Okay, item list. So now in the Miro transaction, you can do invoice verification not only for one purchase order, you can do for multiple purchase orders. So, suppose if you click on this button, more allocation criteria. If you click on this button, you can do invoice verification for not only one PO, you can do for multiple POs. You can enter the multiple POs here. Let's say I'll enter one more PO. Like this you can do. You can do them for multiple POs. Then check adopt. You can do for that. See, now you have it here. One more item as concerned. Of course, the PO invoice verification is already done. So you can do invoice verification not only for one PO, you can do for multiple POs and multiple items also. If you see here, there is one PO. This is one PO having 4 items. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now there is one more PO with 2 items. Okay. So accordingly, you can do the invoice verification as per your requirement. Okay. So this is the invoice verification for multiple purchase orders at the same time. Okay. And even you can, while doing the invoice verification, you can select the item also. See, if you see here in this PO, I have 4 items, item 10, 20, 30 and 40. But I want to do invoice verification only for item 10, 20 and 40, not for 30. So that also it's possible through Miro transaction. Okay. Now we will discuss about the layout for the item list. So normally in the Miro transaction, you have the layout which shows all information. The layout all information, if you select, you have the columns here like this. Okay, you have the columns here. Now if you change the layout, according to that layout the columns will get moved. Suppose if you see here in this layout, the purchase order text will come as a second column. Okay, now amount will come as a fourth column. So that column adjustment, changing the column position, you can do through this selecting the layout. Okay, I'll show you that. So if you go to the Miro transaction, I'm just starting the transaction again. Go back. I'll not pause this. Again, I will go to Miro. Okay, again I'm going to Miro. Enter the invoice date. Enter. Okay, enter the purchase order number. Okay, you got, sorry, Sorry, this is my purchase. Okay, so my purchase order has come. Now if you see here, there is a layout. So suppose if I select, suppose as of now the current layout is account assignment cost center. Now I'll change the layout. So when I change the layout, you see first is item number, then PO text, quantity, all those things you have. Suppose if I change it to all information, see what happened. First item is coming, then amount is coming, then quantity is coming. So PO text is now moved to here. So like this, which columns you want to see, that you can modify, you can change the layout positions by using this layouts. So by selecting the required layout. So this is the option we have it in the layout. Okay, see as a as a MM consultant, you should know thoroughly about this transaction Miro. Okay, how to handle this transaction in different methods, all those things you should know. Okay, so this is the layout for the item list. Next we will be discussing other functions. Okay, so now in the other functions, if you see it here in the Miro transaction, you have the simulation option. Suppose if I go back again, I will go to Miro. Okay, again I'm on the Miro transaction. Enter. Now enter the PO number. Enter. Now here from the screen you can do the simulate the document. So when you click on the simulate document, system will give you the list of GL accounts, all the financial GL accounts, amounts, everything to which you are going to post. All that information it will give you. So you can do this simulation also you can do. This option is available. Okay, and you can hold the document. Here you see there is a button called hold. This we will discuss in a minute. Parking, holding the document, that we will see in a minute. That also possible, that you can do. Okay, and simulate the postings. Search for allocation also you can do. Okay, here you can search for allocation criteria, search for the items, all those things you can do it here, this option. So like this, you can do some functions on the Miro transaction. And if at all there is a error log, if it will give you the messages. Here you see there is a button called messages. As of now, there are no errors. So that's why that button is grayed out. But normally, if there are any errors, suppose if I try to do check, if I try to do just one, if I try to do posted accounting balance is 0, that's okay. It will give you the errors messages actually. If at all there are any errors, it will give you that errors also. Okay, so that is the functions you can do through Miro transaction. Okay, next we will be discussing user parameters for invoice verification. Okay, suppose when you do the invoice verification, along with along with the materials management document, I want to see the accounting document also. If you want to see the both the documents, then you have to add this ID, to the our user ID. And if system has to change the default value for the quantity, then you have to add this parameter ID to the my user ID in the user ID profile. If you do this, system will automatically adjust the value for default value for the amount according to the quantity. So this you have to add it in your user parameters. Okay, I'll show you that. So if I go to my user ID, what is my user ID? My user ID is QM user. My ID is QM user. So to go to the user ID, you have to go to transaction SU01. Okay, go to this transaction, go to QM user, just go to change. Okay, let's go to display. So if you go to display, if you go to parameters, you're not authorized to change users in this group. That's okay. Now if you see it here, this parameter is already added. These two parameters, IV invoice verification, FI display. This parameter ID is already added here. It's already added. Sorry, this one. It's already added. And at the same time, invoice verification amount adjust. This parameter also added over here. So it's already added. I added previously. So these are added. So as these are added, now you see what will happen. Okay. So suppose if I create a new Pivo, ME21 here, I'll create a new Pivo, brand new Pivo. Okay, I'll create for 10 quantity. Okay, I'm creating a brand new Pivo. Okay, done. I'll save it. Okay, Pivo created. Let's take the Pivo. Okay, so now I'll do the Migo. I'll do the good receipt. Okay, story location. Okay, so I'll do it for what do you call 5. I'll do it for 5. Okay, I'll enter the bill of lading. Delivery note Vinam 123 799. Or I entered 799. Vinam 999. Okay, so now I'm doing the goods receipt. Check. That's okay. Deficit. It's okay. Now I'm posting it. Vinam 999, right? Delivery note. Okay. So I did the GR. Now when you're doing the Miro, MIRO. Okay, when you're doing the Miro, enter the date. Here I'll take the delivery note. Okay. Vinam 999. Okay. So now here you have we are doing the Miro invoice verification. Enter the invoice amount. Okay, now balance is 0. Now when I save it, when I post it, you will be able to see document and even accounting document also. Accounting document also. You can see both. You can see both. Okay, now you see I am posting it. Enter. See. You can see the invoice document and even the accounting document also. Both. Because this parameter ID is added to my user ID. If it is not added, it will show only document. So if the user asks to see the both, then as a consultant you have to tell them to add this parameter ID to their user ID. Okay. Now the next one is automatic adjustment of default value. Okay, this I will show you. Now again I will do the GR. Again I will do the GR for the remaining quantity. Okay. We have 5 more quantities pending. Okay, this I will do it as 7 722 delivery note. I'll give bill of lading as Vinam 222. Okay, I entered it. Now I'm check post. I posted it. Okay, so now when I'm doing the Miro, okay, here I'll give the delivery note 722. Okay, I did it. Now my quantity is actually 5. But let's say when the quantity is 5, the amount is 50. Amount is 50. Okay. Now let's say I don't want to do Miro for as of now for 5. I want to pay the vendor only for 3 carton. So the moment I change the quantity, the moment I enter, see, system has adjusted the quantity automatically. This system has done because of this setting. This parameter ID is added to my user ID. IV amount adjust because of this. Okay, so this is how the these parameter IDs works in the system. Okay, so this is what it will happen. So now you will post the Miro transaction. Okay, next we will be discussing. Next we will be talking about PO based invoice verification. Basically, there are two types of invoice verification. One is There are two types of invoice verification. First one is purchase order based invoice verification. Okay. Next one is goods receipt based invoice verification. Goods receipt Okay, so we have two types of invoice verification basically. Okay, we will understand both and we will see it in the system how they are executed. Okay, so purchase order based invoice verification means here, let's say you have a purchase order for 100 pieces. Okay, now first time vendor delivered 50 pieces, second time vendor delivered 40 pieces, and third time vendor delivered 10 pieces. Okay, three different deliveries for the same purchase order. Now when you are doing the invoice verification, let's say for you are doing the invoice verification for this 40 pieces, even even though you do for 40 pieces, system will propose the entire quantity in the Bureau transaction because we are doing the purchase order based invoice verification. Okay, so that is how system will do. Okay, so this is the purchase order based invoice verification. Either you can do selection based on purchase order, or even you select the one of the delivery note, system will propose the entire quantity if you are going for purchase order based invoice verification. Now this we will see it in the system. Okay, so let's go there. I'll create a brand fresh purchase order. Okay, let me go here. Again, ME21N. I'm creating a fresh PO. This is my material. Now I'm creating for 100 for this plant. Okay, if you observe I'm going too fast, just stop me wherever you are having issue. Poonam and Vasundhara. If you find I'm going too fast, because this creation of PO we have done a lot of times. So that's why you can
Sure.
mute. You can mute now. Okay, so I'm creating the PO for 100 quantity. 100 quantity. Check for any issues. Okay, done. Now I am posting the PO. So I created the PO, brand new purchase order, created it. Okay, this is my PO. Now let's do the delivery. First one, I'll do D. I'll put it as Kumar. Kumar triple one. First delivery I will do. Second delivery I will do Kumar triple two. Third delivery I will do Kumar triple three. Okay. In this, our total quantity is 100 pieces. Okay. Now first delivery I'll do for 50. 50. This I will do it for 40, and this I will do it for 10. Okay. So this I will do three times goods receipt. Okay. Let us do that. So again I'm going to Migo transaction. Good receipt. Good receipt purchase order. Enter your purchase order number. Okay. Enter. So first time I will do it for 50. Okay. Now I'm entering the delivery note number as Kumar triple one. Kumar triple one. Okay. Enter the storage location. Enter. Done. Check. Okay. That's okay. Now post it. And before this, sorry, I forgot to tell you in the PO. Let's go to the PO. ME22N. If you go to the PO in the in the invoice uh, in the invoice you should ensure that this gr based invoice verification is not ticked. It should be unticked. Okay, it should be unticked. Gr based invoice verification, this should not be ticked. Okay, that means we are doing purchase order based invoice verification. So in our PO it is already not there, so it's okay. So now let's start doing the, what do you call, Miro, Miko. Okay, so enter the PO number. Enter. I'll do it for 50. Enter the storage location. Enter. I'll give the delivery note Kumar triple 11. Okay. Check. It's okay. Okay. Now post it. So I made the, okay. So we are discussing on the PO based invoice verification. So we did the initial GR. First GR we have done. Let me do the second GR. Okay, for the same PO. I think it might have got disconnected. Okay. I'll log in again. Okay. I'll, okay, I'll do second delivery. Okay, this time I will do it for 40 pieces. Okay, 40 pieces. Okay, I'll give the delivery note. Delivery note as Kumar triple two. Kumar triple two. Okay, I give that. Check. That's okay. Still 10 quantities pending. That's okay. Now post it. So we did the second delivery. Now I'll do the third delivery. Pending ones, 10 pieces. I will give it as Kumar triple three. Delivery note. Okay, done. Check. Post. So for the same purchase order, we did the three deliveries. So now if you go to the Pivo, if you go to the Pivo, ME23N, if I go to the Pivo, go to the purchase order history, you can see three deliveries. Three deliveries. One is for 50, another one is for 40, another one is for 10. Okay. Now when I do the invoice verification, even though if I want to do for one delivery, system will propose the entire quantity as this is a PO based invoice verification. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to Miro transaction. Miro, just give me 1 minute. Huh? Just give me. Okay, so I'll enter the invoice date. Enter. Okay, now here I'm doing for a single delivery note. Okay, so I'll enter Kumar triple two. If I try to do the second delivery, actually system has to propose only this quantity. System has to propose this quantity. But as we are doing the PO based invoice verification, you see what will happen. See, system is proposing the entire quantity. This delivery quantity is only 40. This delivery quantity is only 40. But still system is proposing the entire quantity. Entire quantity. As this is a PO based invoice verification. Okay. So now we will see good receipt based invoice verification. Here, if you do the GR based good receipt based invoice verification, what happens is in your PO, you need to activate this checkbox GR based invoice verification. So when you do this, let's say your PO is for 100 pieces, first delivery is for 50, second delivery is for 40, third delivery is for 10 pieces. Now, when you are doing the invoicing, when you enter the delivery note, one particular delivery note, what system does is system propose only that delivery, not the entire delivery, entire all the purchase order delivery. If you do selection via delivery note, even if you do selection via purchase order, system will propose three items separately. In our previous PO based invoice verification, it comes as a single line item. But here it will show as three line items. So this is the GR based invoice verification. So now this we will see it in the system. Okay. So now I'll create a brand fresh PO. Okay. ME21N. I'm creating a fresh PO. Okay, I'm creating a PO for this material for 100 quantity to procure from this vendor. So check for any issues. Now you need to ensure that in the invoice tab, this is activated. GR based invoice verification. This checkbox has to be activated. Now, if this checkbox has to come by default, this you need to activate in your vendor master. Okay, I'll take the vendor master. Here I'm activating manually. If it has to come by default, you have to activate the checkbox in the vendor master. So take the vendor, go to vendor master xk02, which we discussed previously. Enter the purchase organization, select all, go inside. Here if you see, there is an option GR based invoice verification. Are you able to see? This you have to activate. If you activate here in the vendor master, this will get populated in the Pivo automatically. Okay, so I'm activating it here. Now I'm saving the vendor master, our vendor. Okay, done. Now let's create the Pivo. Or even if it is get defaulted from your purchase info record. Okay, so if you go to M11, if you go to M11, what was the material? What is the material? What is the material we are using? Just one minute. What is the material we are using? 60. Just 1 minute. This one, right? This is a material we are using. So if you go to the purchase info record, in the purchase info record also you can make it mandatory. You can activate that setting. So if you go to purchase organization data, here you see there is an option GR based invoice verification. Either you can do it in vendor master or you can do it in the purchase info record, which we already discussed previously for the vendor and material combination. But I already activated in the vendor master. Here also I will activate. I'm activating in both the places. General data condition. We put price. This is okay. Conditions. And delivery time. Okay, done. Now go back. Now save it. I'm creating the info record. Okay, so now it is existing in both the places. In the Pivo, now it will come by default. Okay, so I'll create a Pivo again. Okay, enter the vendor, enter the material, enter the quantity, enter the I am entering the plant. Now see, in the invoice tab, the GR based invoice verification checkbox has come by automatically. Okay, so that's how it has come. Now let me save the PO, check for any issues, no issues. Now save the purchase order. So we created the purchase order. Okay, so this is my purchase order. Let me take the purchase order. Now we are doing the good receipt based invoice verification. Now again I will do the three deliveries. Again I will do the three deliveries for the same PO. Okay, I'll go to Migo transaction. Okay, good receipt purchase order. Enter the purchase order number. Okay, now I'll do it for what was the first one, Baba? 50. Okay, I'll do it for 50. Now I'll enter storage location. Now I'll enter the delivery note here as RAM 111. I'll enter RAM 111. Okay, so I entered it. Check. Okay, that's okay. There is a deficit quantity. That's okay. Now post it. Okay, so I made the first good receipt. I'll do the second one. Okay, now I'll do it for 40. Okay, this time I will maintain RAM equal to. Okay, done. Check. That's okay. Post it. Second delivery edit. I'm replicating this scenario. Okay. So now the next one, I'll do the last delivery. Okay, 10 pieces. Now pending is 10. That's okay. Delivery note, it has RAM 333. Okay. Okay. Check. Done. Post it. So we did the three deliveries. Okay. Now if you go to the Pivo, ME23N. Okay. This is a Pivo. If you go to the purchase order history, see, we have the three deliveries. First one is for 50. second one is for 40, third one is for 10. We have the three deliveries. Okay, so now when we do the Miro invoice verification, MIRO, okay, invoice date, enter. Now here I'll select the delivery note option. Now I'll do the delivery for the second one. Okay, when I do the for the second one, I will enter RAM 222. Now it will propose only that quantity in the Miro transaction. Now you see, it is proposing only this delivery quantity, not the entire quantity, because now we are doing good receipt based invoice verification. Now here I enter the delivery note, system proposed only that quantity. Suppose if I enter the entire PO, it will propose all the three deliveries separately. Whereas in the previous PO based invoice verification, it proposed entire quantity as one item. One item. Okay, so now I'll propose this one. I'll do through purchase order now. Okay, now I'll not enter delivery note. I'm not saving this. I'm not posting it. Go back. Again, go to Miro. Okay, enter the date. Enter. Now I'll select purchase order. Okay, I'll enter the purchase order number. What was the purchase order number? This is a purchase order number. Okay, now enter. See what happened. System proposed three deliveries as separate items. One, two, one, two, and the last one. If you scroll down, you can see the last one, 10. Because here we are doing good receipt based invoice verification. So this is the difference. This is an interview question. In the interviews, they will ask this question: what is the difference between purchase order based invoice verification and good receipt based invoice verification? Okay. So this is how the GR based invoice verification will work. Okay. Next we will be talking about reversal of goods receipt. Okay. So normally in our scenario, you can customize to determine whether it is possible to reverse the or return a good receipt after invoice receipt when goods receipt based invoice verification is intended for items. That means normally in our purchasing cycle, we first create the PO, create the purchase order, create the purchase order. Then what we will do? We will do the good receipt. We will do the good receipt. Okay. Then we will do the invoice verification. Invoice verification means what? We already made the payment to the vendor. We already made the payment to the vendor. Payment done. Okay. So that means payment done. Okay. Now once the payment is done to the vendor, if you want to do the reversal, return of the material to the vendor, return, okay, return of the material to vendor. Normally system will not allow this because we already made the payment to the vendor. So once the invoice verification is done, system will not allow return of the material to the vendor. But if you want to do this, then you need to do some customization in the system. So we have to do this customization. SPRO, material, you have to go to material management, inventory management and physical inventory, good receipt. For GR based invoice verification, reversal of GR despite invoice. So this configuration you have to do. If at all you want to return the material still after making the payment to the vendor. Okay, so I'll show you where it can be done. So go to configuration, go to SPRO. Okay, go to SAP reference IMG. So where it is, materials management. Okay, go to inventory management and physical inventory. Okay, go to goods receipt. Okay, then for GR based, here for GR based invoice verification, reversal of GR despite invoice. If you click on this, See, for that particular movement type, that checkbox is activated. Try to recollect our inventory management classes. In our inventory management classes, we discussed about canceling the GR, return delivery, we discussed. So for that particular movement type, you have to activate whether it is allowed or not. Okay, so once you activate these checkboxes, even though invoicing is done, invoice verification is done, payment is done to the vendor, still you can return the material. System will allow the return of the material. So this is the checkbox where you need to activate for that particular movement type. Okay, so this is the reversal of goods receipt after the invoice verification. Invoice verification. Okay, next we will be talking about document parking. Okay, so what is this document parking? So in the organization, sometimes when they receive the invoice, due to various reasons like invoice is incomplete, or the clerk who is doing the invoicing, he may not be expert or a senior person. So what he can do is he can enter the data in the system, but he will not be posting it, he will be just parking it. And the person who is an expert or a senior clerk, what he does is he will later on he will change the data in the invoice document, parked invoice document, and then he will post it. That means for some time you will be holding the document or parking the document, which is called document parking. Okay, if you see here, an experienced invoice verification clerk wants to process an invoice but is missing some of the information needed to post the invoice. So, a experienced invoice clerk is there, but he received an invoice which is incomplete. The invoice is not fully provided with all the data. Like example, account assignment information is missing. Then what he does is he or she parks the invoice. Okay, then as soon as he or she receives the missing information, he or she changes the parked document and post it. This is one of the reason why we need to park a document. Or sometimes another scenario is a less experienced employee enters the invoice data without checking it. Once this less experienced employee enter the data in the invoice, the senior employee, the expert then checks the parked document, makes any necessary changes and post it. Okay, or sometimes the another scenario is, this is scenario 1, scenario 2, and the another scenario is there is a significant price variance in an invoice. So let's say you received an invoice, you observe there is a lot of price difference. Then what they do, till they discuss with the vendor and get the clarity, they will park the invoice, they will hold the invoice. Okay, now we will understand how to do this parking a or holding a invoice. Okay, so basically you can hold the invoice, you can park the invoice, or you can save as complaint, you can put it as. Okay, when you do this, after you hold the document, you can do parking, you can do save as complaint, and then you can post it. Okay, or if you park a document directly, you can do save as complete or you can do posting. Okay, so these are the document statuses. These are the document statuses. We will see one by one. Okay, so first we will see holding a document, holding a invoice document. They receive an invoice document, they will enter the data in the system, and then they will hold it for some time. Okay, so when you do this holding, well, first let's do it in the system, then we will understand. Okay, so I'll create a brand new Pivo. Okay, got disconnected. Huh? Okay, let me log in again. Okay, I'll create a new purchase order. Okay, I'll enter the vendor. Okay, now check it. That's It's okay. Everything is okay. Now I'm creating the Pivo. Done. I created a Pivo. Take this Pivo. Okay. Now I'll do the goods receipt. I'll do the Vigo. Okay. Enter the Pivo number. Okay. Storage location. I'm doing the P. What do you call? Uh, Good receipt for the entire quantity of the Pivo. I'll put 7456. Okay. Delivery note. Check. Everything is okay. Now post it. Okay, so I have the material document also. Now let's go to the PO. MA23. This is my PO. This is my PO. Okay, so now when I do the Miro, I'll go to one more. I'll open one more session. When I do the Miro, okay, enter the date. Enter. Now I'll enter the purchase order number. Okay, I got the data. I got the data, but before posting it, I can hold the document. I can hold the document. So how to hold the document? On the top, there is a button. There is a button hold. Just click on that button. Now this document will get invoice document is held. Invoice document is held. Okay, we are not posting it. Now how to see these held documents? Here you have a button show work list. If you click on that button show work list, you will get on the left side, you will get this work list screen. Here you can see the held documents. See, now this is the held document. So this is how you will hold the document for some time without posting it. So when you held the document, what will happen? Okay, first of all, when you hold the document, no posting is made. No posting is made. You can add or change the info in the hold document later on. That means you can modify the document later on. Only an invoice document is created. Okay, and you can delete this held document, and held documents are not updated in the purchase order history. So you cannot see this hold document in the purchase order. Okay, and later on these held documents can be parked, saved as complete, or posted. Later on you can post them. Okay, so that is what. So main thing is, when you hold a document, when you hold an invoice document, it will not get updated in the purchase order history. The main thing, only it will create a invoice document. It will not create a finance document. It will not create a finance document. Okay, so now let's see this. So if you we have hold the document, we hold the document. Now if I go to the purchase order history, I'll take this purchase order. Okay, suppose if I go back, ME23N, ME23N, if I go to the purchase order again, if I go to the purchase order history, see, nothing is getting updated here. Nothing is getting updated here. So that is what the holding a invoice document. So, okay, now let's discuss on the parking a document. Park document or save as complete. How to park a document. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so now let me create a brand new PO again. Okay, I'll create a new brand PO. I'll enter. Now this time I'll create PO for 50 quantity. Okay, check once. Okay, so I'm creating a fresh PO, purchase order, save it. Okay, this is a new PO. Take the PO. Okay, go back. Now I'll do the GR. We go. Okay, I'm doing the good receipt. Check. Put it as Venom 789. Okay, check. Post it. So I did the invoice verification. Sorry, what do you call that? Good receipt. Now in the Miro transaction. Okay, go to Miro transaction. Now here, enter the invoice date. Sorry, enter the purchase order number. Okay, you got the data. Now here you can park the document. Suppose if I go here, edit, here you see switch to document parking. Okay, so we are in the park incoming invoice. So we are parking it. Now save parked document. We are not posting it. We are just saving the parked document. Now save it. Okay, document number has been parked. So suppose again if I go to show work list, now you can see that in the parked documents. Okay, so now when you do the parking, when you do the document parking, when you park a document, data is saves but no postings are made. Okay, an invoice document is created, FI document number is assigned, but Pivo history is also updated. Okay, Pivo history is also updated. That is the main difference between holding the document and parking the document. Both document and FI document both are created. Both are created, but only the thing is accounting postings are not made until you finally post a document. Okay, so I'll show you that. So if you go to, now we parked the document, invoice document. Now if I go to the Pivo, if I go to the Pivo, if I go to the Pivo, this is a Pivo. If I go to purchase order history, see, it is showing as parked invoice. Parked invoice. This is a invoice number. And you see, as of now, finance postings are not done. That is why the price is showing 0. Price is showing here 0. So that is a different interview question. What is the difference between holding a document and parking an invoice document? So then you should be able to explain the difference. Okay, so this is our. So that is why if you see it here, when you hold the document, only document is created. But when you park and save as completed document, document is created, purchase order is history is updated for these two. When you hold the document, only document is created. But when you park and put it as save as complete, document is created, purchase order history is updated, and information to financial accounting is done. Okay, so that is the difference you need to understand. Okay, now parking a document, either you can do through Pivo by going to this navigation path, or you can go to directly a transaction called MIR7. Park incoming invoice. Directly you can, if you go to this transaction, directly you can do the parking invoice from this transaction. Okay, all the transactions, all the held documents, parked documents, everything you can see it in the work list. If you want to hide this, just click on this button, hide work list. Okay, so this is the reason, the reason which I explained why we need to park a document. Sometimes vendor give an invoice, it will not be, he will not be providing the entire information, required entire information, or information is having some what do you call, ambiguity, like the price variance. Okay, or the clerk is an inexperienced clerk, the person who is doing posting the invoice. So during those scenarios you will go for this holding a document or parking a document, and later on once everything is cleared, they will go and do the posting. That's what they will do. They will do the posting. Okay, so this is all about your parking and holding a document. Okay, now we have a workflow. This is a workflow, standard SAP workflow. Whenever a clerk park invoice, automatically it will trigger a mail, a workflow to the actual clerk who is going to do the posting. He will verify the invoice, change invoice, and then he will post it. That is also can be done. Of course, this is a standard workflow which will be done by the technical team. That workflow is available. When he parks a invoice, so let's say inexperienced clerk, when he does the parking, automatically it will trigger a mail to the senior clerk who can do all these activities, completing the invoice. Of course, this will be taken care by technical team. Only as a functional consultant, you should know this option is available. Okay. Now the next one is reversal flow is also available. Let's say you have the clerk, he maintained it as save invoice as complete. Now the senior clerk receives the mail, he verifies the invoice. If there is any issue, he refuses the invoice. Again, it will go back to the original inexperienced clerk to change the invoice, or he can see why it has been refused. So that option is also available in the system, but it will be taken care by the technical team. Okay. So next we will be discussing about prepayment process. Prepayment process. Okay. So what is this prepayment process? Okay. You can pay invoices that are held, parked, or saved as complete before actual posting. Sometimes you make the prepayment to the vendor. Okay, that means even before you post the invoice, you can make the payment to the vendor. Okay, this is an advantage for vendor because they receive the payment soon after invoicing. System performs the payment processing independently of the corresponding goods receipt. Okay, normally this prepayment process will be, obviously this procedure should be established with trusted vendors. You in your organization, you have some reliable vendors, reliable suppliers. For those vendors, sometimes you can do this prepayment process. Okay, to do this prepayment process, you have to do some configuration. That configuration has to be done using at this path. Okay, so this is the path. This is the path. This is in the prepayment customization. You have to do all these settings. Of course, it is a financial one. It's normally done by the finance consultants, finance team activity. But as a consultant, you also should know that prepayment can be configured in the system. I'll show you the path. I'll show you the path. Okay. So go to SPRO. Go to SPRO. Okay. Go to SAP reference IMG. Okay. Go to materials management. Go to materials management. Go to materials management. Okay. Logistics invoice verification. Logistics invoice verification. Okay. Then go to incoming invoice. Incoming invoice. Okay. Then go to prepayment. 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 Okay. And then configure control of prepayment at company code level. It will be activated at company code level. So here it is. Configure control of prepayment at company code level. Okay, see here it is. As of now it is not activated. So you need to click on the button new entries and then you will activate this one. So you enter your company code. Let's say my company code is 1000. In that company code 1000, you will make the settings. So these settings you will make. Control per company code. What is a document type? Reversal reason is there. Field control. All these things you will put it over here. You will put it over here. But this you will do by consulting you, by taking the help of your FICO consultant. You will not be doing this independently because this is again linked to finance, payment, finance. So along with consulting your FICO consultant, you will do this. Only thing is you should know that it will be done at company code level. Okay, so that is the prepayment process. So with this, we have completed invoice verification part 1.